Welcome back to the Dry Fire Journal. This is day 128. You only get 4 attempts at this drill, and we're going to learn a whole lot about what we're doing well and what we can do better. So jump in with me and let's learn. Welcome back, REDHAWK family. Today, you just need a Post-it note and a Sharpie in order to perform the drill. And the other thing that you're going to need is a barrel block. You can see that my Mark 23 has nothing in the magazine well, and it is barrel blocked. And you can get your very own barrel block by going to Block Safety, bloksafety.com. Enter the code REDHAWK at checkout. You get 15% off your order. I think this is the best way to dry fire unless you're using a laser dot cartridge. You're going to need this target, and I am going to use this dot right here. This dot right here is the second smallest dot on the spicy dot target. It is maybe twice as big as the front sight of my Mark 23. I'm going to try to show you that. It's hard with camera angles, but it is just slightly larger than my front sight. And I'm going to stand at a distance so that as I draw, I am just almost touching it. So it's almost, at the tip of my muzzle. And here's what I'm going to do. And here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Let me look this firearm into the holster. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do. You stand so that once you draw, your front sight is maybe an inch away from this Post-it note. So make sure that you put this in a strategic direction in your home or apartment or wherever it is that you're working on this, and make sure you're barrel blocked. Make sure. Then, whatever par time you believe that you can realistically draw to cleanly and see, this is what you're going to do. On the beep, defeat concealment. Get on your gun, bounce out of the holster, form your grip, drive out, but only to this dot. Not below it, not around it, but to it. And you only get 4 attempts. After each one of the 4, I want you to take a moment and consider what it is that you did well, what it is that you are experimenting with, and what it is that you experienced. I'm doing those in a different order than normal. What did you do well? Here's why I want to ask that question first. If I draw and I don't hit it, my first immediate thought is usually negative. So I want to counter that by asking myself, what did I do well? And then I want to ask myself, what was I experimenting with? And then I want to figure out, what did I just experience? So because of the way I need to film, I'm simply just going to turn the camera around. I won't see it very well. It's going to be an awkward camera angle. Just get over it. You're going to see my 4 draw to first shots at a par time that I believe I can do with vision, and then we're going to talk about it. I'm a little bit low. Don't know if you saw that, but I'm just like here. Let's try it again. I got close. Let's try it again. I went above it. One more time. Okay, so what did I do well? I feel like I moved on the beep, and I cannot stress what an important attained skill that is, to be able to respond to the beep and move on it. I felt like I moved fairly quickly. I could have moved faster. I feel like once I bounced out of the holster, my grip formed exactly the way I wanted it to. And that's one of the reasons why I love this Mark 23 so much. It just works for my bear size hands. As I drove the gun out, I saw my front sight. Now, that doesn't mean I put it where I wanted it to every time, but I was able to see my front sight at this time. For me, this was a spicy time. This was, I don't know if you can see that, this was a 0.8 on the 80s arcade style timer. And I saw my front sight every time. Now, again, that doesn't mean I put my front sight exactly where I wanted it to go. What was I experimenting with? I was experimenting with telling myself a different story, that I can move fast and see something at the same time. That means that my speed out of the holster, my bounce, my grip, my drive out to the target, and my coast all need to be somewhat automated. Now, what did I experience though? Well, I experienced a severe lack of coast. I was punching the target, and I didn't like that. What else did I experience? I didn't put the front sight exactly where I wanted it to, and yet I still felt okay about it, and I've got to really dive deep on that. If I'm not putting the front sight exactly where I want it to go, why is it that I'm okay with that? That's just something for me to work on. So I'm curious, if you try this drill, let me know how it goes. You don't have to tell me you're part-time. You're working on you. I'm working on me. We're not worried about that stuff. But I want to know, what did you do well? And what were you experimenting with? And what did you experience? So put in some work today. I'm going to work this for a long time this morning. And I invite you to join me and let me know how it goes. I'll see you tomorrow.